If you have joined us live, or if you're going to watch this on a catch up later, then welcome to you. I'm going to teach a seated yoga class just now, and for the next 45 minutes or so, we'll do a good stretch through the whole body and find a little bit of calm and space and for ourselves. So grab a chair if you haven't already. If you didn't give up on me and you waited for this live class, then thank you and welcome to you. Let's sit in our chairs. So what we'll do is just plug us in. Okay. I've plugged us in now as well, so we should be okay. Let me just make sure that you can see the whole of me sitting in my chair with the feet flat on the ground in front of you. Make sure that you're comfortable sitting in your chair. You can rest your hands in your lap, but try to sit as upright as you can. So creating space in the central part of our body for our breath. If you have shoes or slippers or trainers on, just take a moment perhaps to just remove them. Set them to one side and just have your feet flat on the ground so that you can just feel the ground beneath your feet. Thank you for your patience this morning. One of the things that yoga tries to incorporate is a sense of cheerfulness and joy, and perhaps this morning's a good time to bring us back to that thought. There's a lovely Sanskrit word for this, which is santosha. And so I'd really love us to practice this morning with that sense of santosha, sense of cheerfulness and joy. What I'm going to do before I start is just push the screen away from me so that you can see a slightly bigger version of me here. There we are. Then you'll be able to follow, I think, what I'm doing a little better. So here I am in the jungle, surrounded by many, many tomatoes. They were a bit more prolific than I had imagined my tomatoes to be. So, yeah, I was surrounded by this lovely sense of growth and fruitfulness, I guess, with all this, with all these plants and tomatoes fruiting around me. It's quite nice. Anyway, happy to join you for this yoga class. Come to a place seated on your chair where you can sit upright comfortably and begin to draw a little more inward, so away from all the distractions and just turning inward. Have a sense of your own breath in your body. Bring your attention to that place deep inside of you where your breath arrives in the body. We'll place one hand on the lower belly and one hand on the chest. Perhaps close down your eyes if you're comfortable with that, or just if you're not comfortable closing your eyes fully, soften your gaze and just look down at the ground ahead of you. Instead of picking up on things that you can see in the room, turn your gaze inward to the journey that your breath makes as it enters your body. So you can almost picture your breath arriving through your nose if that's comfortable for you, as it travels in and down into those spaces deeper in the body, into your lungs. As your lungs expand, your diaphragm, which is just sitting below your lungs, drops to make a bigger space for your lungs to expand. This can sometimes lead to our belly, if that area of our body is relaxed, just expanding to create that space. So notice if you feel that, any movement beneath your hands. Deep down in the belly, and then maybe in your chest too. That expansion as you fill with air. Then as you breathe out, make a conscious choice to relax your shoulders. You can smile to yourself as you sit here and breathe, perhaps. But notice how you're feeling this morning. So what your mood is like. Maybe you're already feeling quite cheerful, even joyful this morning, but perhaps not. Perhaps your mood is low, you're feeling tired. So we're not going to judge ourselves for how we're feeling this morning. How we feel is just how we feel at any one point in time. But we'll just acknowledge that to ourselves, and each of us will feel different. Maybe we feel different today to yesterday. But through our practice, we'll try and grab hold of a sense of cheerfulness as we practice. So if it helps to give yourself a smile, do that. In fact, release your hands from your belly and your chest. Have your palms open, face forward down beside you. Roll your shoulders up and back to open this heart space in your chest. Still keep your chin slightly dropped. Your eyes either closed or really softly focused. Relax the belly and just take a few deep breaths in that sort of open-hearted mountain pose. You can keep smiling to yourself if that feels comfortable. If you feel like a complete lemon smiling to yourself, then just embrace that ridiculous feeling. If you're not ready to smile yet, then don't worry. Just sit and breathe slowly, a little more deeply than you normally would. As you exhale, relax the shoulders, relax the belly. Relax the belly to inhale, let that diaphragm drop and the lungs fill up your chest and abdomen expand. At the end of each exhale, just slightly begin to draw the belly button in, those abdominal muscles beginning to work as you finish that exhale and force all of the stale air out of your lungs. You can use your breath almost like a meditation here, imagining that every inhale, you inhale a little bit more of a sense of cheerfulness, santosha in Sanskrit. With every exhale, release anything that might be weighing you down, any stress, any worry. Of course, this isn't a magic formula. We can't necessarily do this and expect ourselves suddenly to feel cheerful if we have reason to feel sad or even no reason and we still feel quite low. But we can just make these mental adjustments as we practice just over the next wee while. Imagining that with each inhale, we're just inhaling a sense of cheerfulness, joy, happiness, whatever you want to call it, and exhaling, releasing a sense of worry, stress, or unhappiness. Feel it melting away and leaving your body. So you finish that exhale, drawing in the tummy, squeezing out that stale air. On your next inhale, begin to stretch your arms out wide and overhead. You can even stretch your legs away from you as well. Give a few turns to the wrists and then exhale, bring everything straight back in. We'll do that once more. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, relax in your chair. Bring feet to the ground. You can slowly begin to open your eyes, let the light back in. And then just press into the toes and press into the heels here. We can connect this movement to our breath. Inhaling to rise up on the toes, lift the heels from the back of your block, book, the ground, whatever you have your feet on to be comfortable. And then exhaling as heels drop down, lift your toes up. Inhale again, the front of your feet, but press your heels down. Exhale, bring toes back down. Inhale, lift the heels. Exhale, drop the heels. Inhale to lift the toes. Keep breathing slowly and deeply as you move through this movement, really pressing different parts of your feet into the ground here. Right, my computer's saying low battery, so continue doing that and I will just check that we have a battery for us to practice with this morning. There we go, I've plugged us in. Right, we're all plugged in. Now, just come to rest with your feet flat on the ground, pointing one foot out ahead of you. Take some slow circles with that ankle. Sitting up nice and straight, keep your slow, steady breath going that you've built up there. And turn the ankle, feel into that ankle joint. This is really good to do especially if you have any fluid build up in your ankles, swollen ankles. Even if not, it's just good to keep this joint moving like this. Slow it down and reverse the direction. Point the toes away from you as that circle comes down through the bottom. Flex the toes towards you up at the top and keep your breath going. Lovely. Next time your foot is up, bring the heel down to the ground. Keep the foot flexed, the toes coming towards you as your heel pushes away from you. That leg straightens out down there ahead of you. Bring both hands to the top of that bent knee, sitting up really nice and straight. Shoulders up and back and down. This might be enough for you just to feel that stretch in that straightened out leg there in front of you. But if you want a deeper stretch, breathe in. As you breathe out, hinge forward from the hips, your whole upper body hinging forward over that bent leg. Notice how that intensifies the stretch in that straightened out leg. You can even push your heel a little bit further away from you and draw those toes towards you. That sense as you breathe here, holding this stretch, that you are inhaling a sense of stretching out, filling yourself up. And as you exhale, releasing any sense of worry or stress. Inhale to draw yourself back up to seated, and then draw that leg in towards you and keep going. You can hold at the back of the thigh or the front of the shin there and draw that leg in towards you. You can give a couple of releasing circles with that ankle. Sit up straight, and as you hug that knee in towards you, a couple of deeper breaths. Lovely. Before you put that foot down on the ground here, you're going to Take hold of that bottom ankle, bring it up and cross it over that left knee. So doing a little sequence with each leg here. Keep that foot flexed there and allow this knee to just drop out to the side. If you have any hip issues, as I always say every class when we do this stretch, just sit this one out. If this feels painful for your hip, then just come to sitting with your feet flat on the ground and take a few deep, steady breaths. But as we did with that straightened out leg, sit up nice and straight. Inhale as you exhale. If you want that deeper stretch, you can begin to lean forward. This can make it quite intense for that outside hip there, that folded leg. Keep that foot nicely flexed. That will just protect your ankle and your knee joint there. Pick a spot ahead of you to gaze at as you hold this pose. As you exhale, release tension through the body. So try and hold this pose with a steady ease. If you feel trembling or pain, perhaps just come out of it slightly. Enjoy that feeling of holding a slightly trickier pose. Sitting with that sense of discomfort and knowing that it won't last forever. One more breath in, and then as you exhale, come to sitting up straight. Release that foot down to the ground there. Take a big breath in and a sigh out. And then we'll point the toes of the other foot ahead of us. Take some slow, smooth circles with that foot. So in one direction, you can involve the toes in this. Keep your breath going here. So relaxing the tummy as you breathe in, allowing it to fill with air. On the end of your exhale, just drawing those tummy muscles in. Slow that movement down, reverse the direction. Really warming up that ankle joint. Lovely. Next time your foot is flexed up and the toes are pointing up towards the ceiling, bring that heel straight down to the ground and push the heel away from you. You might want to adjust your sit bones on the chair. Keep the foot flexed up towards you. Notice where you feel that stretch in that leg. Sit up straight. You can bring both hands to the top of that folded leg. Breathe in. As you breathe out, hinge forward from the hips again. Notice how that changes or intensifies the stretch in that leg. Give yourself a smile, or give me a smile. Even though I can't see you, it's nice to think that you might be smiling back at me. Lovely. One more breath here. As you inhale next, draw yourself back up to sitting, and let's draw that knee in towards us. Drawing in, give it a hug. You can hold on. It might not look super close to you. It might not be that you can hug your knee in close. Just hold it up where is comfortable for you. Take a couple of releasing twists with that ankle. Just release any tension there. Sitting up straight. Lovely. One more deep breath here. And then before we release that, take that ankle, cross it over that folded leg. Adjust yourself so that you're as comfortable as you can be here. Flex that foot so the toes are flexing up towards the shin. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, still stay sitting up straight, but relax. Try and relax the muscles around your hip and your knee. If it's painful for you, set that foot flat on the ground and just take some slow, steady breaths. Inhale that sense of santosha, that sense of cheerfulness, and exhale, release any worry, any stress, just for the next wee while. Lovely. As you inhale, if you want that deeper stretch, exhaling to hinge forward at the hips, just gently notice how that feels. Maybe take a couple of breaths here as you hold that, knowing that even if it's uncomfortable, it won't last forever. And it's going to feel good when we release this stretch. Inhale, back up to sitting, and gently release that knee over to the side. Sit up really straight, take a big breath in and a sigh out. Lovely. And then you might want to adjust yourself on your seat, but you can connect your upper back to the back of the chair so that you're leaning back in your chair, your back is supported lightly. Don't allow your stomach to really collapse here. We're trying to hold ourselves reasonably straight. And yep, we're going to do another hip opening exercise, which is just taking small circles from the hip. So the leg is straight, toes are pointed away from you. You're warming up this hip, taking small circles. Begin to feel these abdominal muscles connecting as well. Now, a couple of options here. You can hold on to the base of the chair, but to make it slightly more challenging, you can have your palms open, arms down alongside the body. We're going to slow it down, stop that leg, keep it held, 6 circles back the other way. Give yourself a smile as you do this, even if you're finding it really challenging. And last one, 6. Release that. Maybe you really felt that in your hips, your upper thigh. Take a big breath in and a sigh out. Lovely. And then we'll do that on the other side. So pointing the toes away from you, take lots of small circles here. Keep going. You can do this. So they're slightly more challenging, having the arms down alongside the body, but the core muscles are really connected here. So they're working hard for you. The hip is working, the leg is working. If you're pointing those toes away from you, your core is engaged. It's doing you so much good. That's it. Keep those circles going. Slow it down. Point the toes away from you or take 6 back the other way. A little bigger if you can. Lovely. 4, 5, make an extra big one on 6. Excellent. Release that foot. Take a big breath in and a sigh out. Feel that sense of tension release from your body as you sigh that out. Bring hands just to the top of your thighs here, or you can hold onto the chair, whichever you feel more comfortable with. This time we're going to keep our foot flexed as we breathe in. Raise one knee and stretch the foot out ahead of us. Exhale to bring that foot back down. So just taking some kind of big, almost marching or walking, push that leg away from you and release it down. Releasing tension in the hip by this movement. But our core is still working for us here as we do this. Exhale, release the foot. Inhale, bring that knee up, stretch the foot away. Exhale, release the foot. Lovely. One more on each side. Okay. So relax. We're going to do a little bit of work for the core here. But first, well, let's release any tension around this middle section. Just take some windscreen wiper movements from side to side. So this is quite nice. You can do it gently, or you can really begin to drop each knee and turn down. See what suits your body. You can almost feel yourself pivoting on the chair here as you do this. But it may be that you just want to take some gentle movements from side to side, keeping the knees together. Do whatever suits your body, because each of us is different. Lovely. Leaning back again. We're going to take our Navasana, which is our boat pose here. And this is a pose that we really utilizes the core of our body. So let's think about this part of our body as we go into this pose. As we begin to breathe in, relax the tummy. As you exhale, draw that tummy button in, and those are the muscles we want to engage, those deep core muscles as you draw your tummy button in, and then don't let that go. Keep those muscles working for you here as you take this next pose. So options are to just raise one leg ahead of you and hold it straight out. Slightly harder is to raise both legs out ahead of you. Point the toes away from you. You'll really feel these core muscles working for you here. You can be holding onto the bottom of the chair here. Relax your hands in your lap. But if you want to take it up even further, reach out for a bigger challenge. Stretch your arms out ahead of you, palms facing towards each other but separate, fingers wide, and keep breathing. So your core is working for you, you're holding this pose here. We'll take 5 more breaths together. Try and smile. Try and release tension in your neck even as your core is working for you here. Feel your muscles working for you. Know that you're holding this. 2 more breaths maybe. It's not going to last forever. Lovely. Final breath in. As you breathe out, bring everything back to the ground, hands to the lap. Take a really big breath in and a sigh out. Well done. If you're still smiling with me, well done. Come to sitting up straight. Let's take a few more of those windscreen wipers. Lovely. And then come to stillness here. Take a big breath in. Bring the shoulders up to the ears. Roll them back. And as you release that breath, release your shoulders down your back as well. Few of those rolls. Lovely, and a few the other way, just for good measure. Inhaling as you bring your shoulder blades towards each other and up the back. Exhale, bring them forward and roll them down the front of the body. Release tension. Lovely, well done. You take a side stretch here, so feet slightly wider, but not much more than hip distance apart. Knees relaxed, sitting up nice and straight here. We're going to create all this space in the middle of the body, so the crown of the head lifts. And we'll bring that, I think I'm opposite to you here, so we'll bring that right hand over to the outside of that left leg. Inhale, stretch that left arm up to the ceiling. As you exhale, reach over the body. Feel the side of your body here really expanding. So when you breathe in, send your breath into those side ribs there as they expand. Enjoy that feeling of space in the side of your body. Lovely. Inhale yourself slowly back up to sitting. Release that arm or swap it over. Left hand comes to the outside of that right leg. Inhale, right arm lifts. Exhale, stretching across the body. Relax the head and the neck here. So we don't want to invite strain into our neck. You can just look down at the ground in front of you. This is where we want to feel this stretch in the side body, the ribs and those intercostal muscles between each rib, really making a lot of space there, and that's where our breath is going. So breathe sideways here, breathe, expand your ribs. Still have that sense as you breathe out of releasing tension, worry and stress from the body. Relax your shoulders if you can. Inhale, draw yourself back up to center, release that hand into the body, and then we'll take a twist to each side as well. So inhale, find length in your spine. As you exhale, bring both hands to the outside of that left leg, or take hold of the back of the chair with your left arm. Draw your tummy in as you exhale here to give yourself space. Relax the shoulders and twist around. As you breathe in, give yourself length in your spine. As you breathe out, maybe you can twist a millimetre more. Relax the shoulders though. Enjoy this sense of moving the spine in all directions. Lovely. Inhale as you release the chair and bring your arms slowly back to the center. Take a breath in and out here just to release any tension. And then on your next inhale, prepare yourself. Give yourself length in the spine. As you breathe out, twist your upper body to the right. Hands can come to the outside of that right leg, or you can take hold of the back of the chair. Draw your tummy muscles in to give yourself space. Exhale, relax your shoulders. Keep breathing in this twist. Every inhale gives you length in your spine. Every exhale, perhaps you can twist a millimetre more around, drawing the tummy in. One more breath in, and then as you exhale, slowly come back to the center. Take a couple of shoulder rolls, involve the neck, just drawing the shoulders up. As you exhale, release tension. Lovely. We'll move our spine forwards and backwards now in the cat-cow movement that we quite often do in this class. I think we do it every class. So as we inhale, and let's use our arms today as well, just being a bit more expansive with this movement. Even if your spine won't move a great deal in terms of opening and closing, we'll still involve our arms here. So as we breathe in, open the arms, begin to look up, almost inviting a little back bend, opening through the chest. As you breathe out, bring your arms back in, almost hugging them round yourself and rounding out through your spine. Draw the tummy button in and drop the chin to the chest. Inhale, opening the chest. Exhale, drawing everything back in. Round out through the back. Feel that extension in the back of the body. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, round out through the back, drop the chin to the chest. Encouraging your vertebrae to move independently of each other as you take this movement with your breath. Really good for the spine. If you especially enjoy that opening sense on the inhale there, maybe linger there as you open the chest, release that and then exhale and then take a couple more breaths here, just sitting with your heart open, your arms stretched out, chin raised to gaze ahead of you. Or keep the movement going as you exhale, rounding out through the spine. This is your choice here. You always have that choice if you're particularly enjoying something to make the most of it, make an adjustment, or if you're in pain and not enjoying something, to take a rest and give your body that rest that it needs. Lovely. After your next exhale, when your back is rounded out, we're going to leave it there for a moment. Clasp the hands ahead of you and stretch them out away from you. Really make the most of that space in the back of the body, between the shoulder blades. Draw the tummy button in towards the back of the spine. Drop the chin to the chest. And imagine that you're sending your next few breaths into that space between your shoulder blades there. Lovely. Slowly release the hands and come to sitting back up straight with a neutral spine. Just enjoying that increased length as you sit here in stillness. Bring the hands down alongside the body in our mountain pose. Shoulders up and back down the body. Sitting up nice and straight, so the crown of your head is lifting up towards the ceiling. Your core muscles here are just lightly engaged, really holding yourself upright. And use your pelvic floor here. These are our muscles really deep down in the base of our core. Drawing them up and keeping them held up as you take your next few breaths. Even as you're engaging those pelvic floor muscles, as you exhale, relax your shoulders. So there's this sense of holding this pose actively, but also a sense of relaxation, of surrender through the body. So it's that balance that we're striving to find so often in our yoga practice. And then come back to that sense of intention that we had at the beginning of the practice, to practice with a sense of cheerfulness, happiness, santosha. Every exhale, releasing any sense of worry or stress or unhappiness. Lovely. On your next inhale, send your arms wide and up overhead. You can look up towards your hands as your palms come together. As you exhale, palms down towards the ground and reach forward, rounding down over the legs, all the way down. Enjoy that movement then. Inhale, push through the feet, come all the way back up, arms all the way out and up overhead. Look up, exhale, bring hands back to heart center. We'll do that a couple more times with the breath. Inhale. Exhale, reaching forward, rounding all the way down. Inhale, push through the feet, draw the tummy in. Use your core to lift yourself up. Exhale, hands back to heart center. Breathe in. Look up, stretch up. Exhale, rounding down. Inhale, push through the feet, core muscles engaged. Exhale, bring hands back to heart center. Here we want to open the palms out in a smooth kind of movement. So palms together, and then we'll open them out, bending at the elbows, palms face forward, raised up towards the ceiling. We're going to take a movement here with the upper body, with the breath. So exhaling to draw forearms together, pressing them together and pressing the palms together. Inhaling to open up here. Open up the chest. Exhale, press them all together. Inhale, opening out. Exhale, drawing elbows and palms, forearms together. Press them lightly together. Inhale, open up the chest. Sitting up nice and straight. Lovely. Lovely. You can probably begin to feel your shoulders and your upper arms really working here. Exhale, last one. Press it together. Release the hands to the lap. Take a big breath in and a sigh out. Lovely. And then drop that left arm down beside the body. We're going to connect another shoulder and arm movement to our breath here. Breathing in, bringing that arm straight forward and up overhead. Exhaling to release it down the back of the body. Finding movement for that whole arm and the shoulder. If this is too intense for you, bring fingertips just to the shoulder. Take a gentler form of movement with the elbow. So same thing, but just with the elbow. Inhaling, exhaling as it releases back down behind you. It's much gentler, and you can make these circles as small as you want to, just to accommodate any injuries that you might have or difficulties with your shoulder. But if you don't have those issues, I'd encourage you just to take these big full circles. Exhale back down the body. Inhale as you stretch that arm forward and up overhead. Exhale, open up the shoulder down the back. We'll do that the other way. So breathe in as your arm comes back and up overhead. Exhale, it stretches forward and away from you. One more of those in that direction. Release that hand to the lap, and then we'll do that with the right arm. So inhaling, arm comes up. Don't forget that gentler option. Oh, I'm struggling here with the jungle behind me. So I'm going to do the gentler option here, not because of any shoulder injury, but because I have many tomato plants behind me. Inhaling, elbow comes up and back as you exhale. Inhale and exhale. Lovely. One more of those and we'll take that in the other direction. So inhaling, either elbow or whole arm comes up behind you. Exhale, comes forward and down. If you don't have enough space for your full arm, perhaps you're in a small room with the walls close by, or you, like me, have tomato plants surrounding you, then take this version instead. Still gives you a really good stretch for your shoulder and your upper arm. Lovely. Exhale. Release that hand down to the ground. Take a couple of shoulder rolls with your breath. Involve your neck here. Well done. Bring the hands just up ahead of you and using your fingers just to really stretch out through all the fingers. It may not feel like you're doing very much here, but often our hands can seize up. We might suffer from arthritis in the fingers, and just bringing a real sense of movement into the fingers is a really good thing to do every day. Lovely. Involve your wrists in this as well. So turning the wrists, a few big circles either way. Keep your breath going. So if you've lost that sense of slow, steady breathing, relaxing your tummy on that inhale, come back to that. Exhaling to draw the tummy in. Lovely. Give your hands, your wrists, your whole arms, your shoulders a good shake out. Well done. And then just send them up overhead, but in quite a relaxed way. So they're just hovering up above you at the moment. And notice how that feels. Your arms can be quite straight, but try and have your shoulders relaxed a little away from your ears. So maybe invite a little bend into the elbows. Fingers spread wide but relaxed, and just notice how that feels. Almost allow the energy that has built up in your arms through that shaking and those exercises to release back into your body. Take a big breath in, and as you breathe out, bring your hands back to your lap. Relax your shoulders, relax your arms. Maybe close down your eyes for a moment or drop your gaze down to the ground ahead of you. Keep your breath going, but notice how you feel now. Maybe quite tired after all that movement. We'll slow it down again now. So begin to, with your breath, take some circles with the head. Circling the nose ahead of you, feeling into that neck joint. Few slow, smooth circles. You can keep your eyes closed, moving really slowly and just feeling into all those nooks and crannies of the neck. Lovely. Slow it down. When your chin is next to your chest, we'll just leave it there for a moment. And then slowly begin to circle back in the other direction. Small circles to begin with. And then increasing the size of the circles, really feeling into all those parts of the neck. Maybe connecting your breath by breathing in as your head comes up one side and out as it comes down the other side. Lovely. Next time your chin is down at your chest, leave it there. If you want a deeper, more intense stretch, you can clasp your hands and just bring them together at the back of your head. Let your elbows drop forward, and the natural weight of your arms draw your neck into a deeper stretch, but that's quite intense. If it feels too uncomfortable or painful at all for your neck, just rest your hands in your lap. One more breath here, and then release the hands anywhere into your lap. And slowly begin to draw your chin and head back up to center. Open the arms down alongside you, mountain pose, that really open the chest here. Take a little look up, almost inviting that back bend into the body once again for our final stretch. If you want to take hold of the back or the sides of your chair, really open up the chest, looking up a little more, then do that. Maybe give yourself a smile as you do this. Imagine your chest here. Maybe imagine a beam of light coming from your chest out ahead of you. Couple of breaths in. As you release that, release everything. Send the feet forward and out a little away from you. Release your back into the chair, your arms into your lap. Just drop your chin ever so slightly towards your chest so that you can have a relaxed neck here as well. You're not holding your head up. And then you can really invite that sense of release into your body. So start at the crown of your head and just do that mental scan through your body. Notice if you're holding tension anywhere at all and let it go. You can let your deep, regular breath go here as well. So we don't have to keep that going. We can just let our breath flow in and out quite naturally, quite gently now. If you notice that you're holding tension in a part of your body, maybe flex it, extend the fingers, your toes, and then relax them. Relax your tummy as well, all those muscles that have worked quite hard over the last hour. Just let them release. Maybe take a little smile to yourself and let all the muscles in your face relax. Enjoy a few moments of complete relaxation. And then I'll bring us out of this time of rest, our Shavasana, just to finish our practice in a few moments. you want to continue your rest and you're enjoying it and you have the time and the space to do that, then please feel free to just switch off now and continue that rest. Really, that's what your body needs this morning or whenever you're watching this. But if you need to get on with your day, then slowly begin to take some small movements with your body, your fingers, your toes. Maybe turn your head from side to side. Take a few deeper breaths and gradually build up to taking a full body stretch. A really big breath in, and then as you breathe out, bring the feet back flat onto the ground, come to sitting up straight, separate your sit bones. You can keep your eyes closed if that suits you, or looking down at the ground. Take a breath in and send your arms wide and up overhead, and then just release them, palms together, down in front of you to your heart center. Drop your chin to your chest, but your shoulders down, the crown of your head still lifting. So you're sitting up straight just to finish your practice. And with your eyes closed, maybe just take a really big smile to yourself if that doesn't feel too awkward. As you release it in a sigh to finish your practice. And go well today. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste. Thank you so much. Apologies again for the technical difficulties at the beginning of that class, but I hope that you feel that you've had a good stretch and feel maybe slightly calmer, more cheerful, whatever it is after that class. But however you feel, I hope that you have a good day and a good week, and join me again next week. Or if you're practicing this class it's not live for you and you're watching it on catch up, then go well and maybe join us live for another session some other time. But thank you so much for joining me. Bye bye.